Welcome to Your Iconic Image. If you want to take control of your image and be a power player in your space, then this is the show for you. Here we will arm you with tools and information to help you grow your brand on purpose. I'm your host, Marlana Semenza, photographer and visual strategist. Now let's dive into today's episode. Well, welcome to the 100th episode of Your Iconic Image. And today you are actually going to get a little insight on me. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring this whole thing full circle. And my very first guest is going to do the interview. And if you missed his episode, please go back and watch it. It is called What Makes an Icon? And John, the show is yours.
Well, hello, Marlana. How are you?
I'm well.
Good. Well, it's an honor to talk with you today. You know, you are a genuine and authentic person, incredibly talented, and I would even say gifted in your ability to bring out the best in people. You've reached this milestone, 100 podcasts, and today we get the chance to get to know you. Even though you've done 100 podcasts, many people really don't know what you do. So first question, tell us about what you do.
I am a photographer and visual strategist. So what that means is I take all the things that make you unique and I bridge the gap between that and what your audience or clients need to know. And I do that in images. And that's it in a nutshell.
That is fabulous. Okay, now you're in a crowded field, as we all are. Tell us what makes you different than other photographers.
I think part of it is my background, but also at its core, I'm really not in the photography business. Photography is the vessel that I use and the means of communication that I use, but really I'm in the reputation business.
God, that's outstanding.
And so I think that's the biggest difference.
I love that. I absolutely love that. So tell us a little bit about your creative process. Walk us kind of through that, how you get to know someone.
It's a busy world in my brain, John.
I got you.
When somebody comes to me and they want to collaborate, because I don't look at it as, I'm doing this for you. I do look at it as a collaboration because I very much go off of their input also and, their suggestions, all that kind of thing. So it's not just me, it's us. That said, there is a questionnaire that I have people initially fill out, and I have worked with somebody who is in the psychology realm to help me word the questions in a way that will make you dig a little deeper. And when I get that back, then what happens from there is we go over it. And because often I have found that the answers that people write down really aren't the answer. It's about 3 answers deeper than that. So usually that comes from the conversations and evoking those
nice
replies.
Yeah, that's absolutely awesome. Now, personal branding has become such a huge and dynamic and fluid issue and an important one. So walk us through, how can someone best prepare to work with you and make the most out of a session with you? Is there some tips, some things that you would share with people about how they can work with you or make the most out of their time with you?
Well, honestly, I will say this. All photographers aren't a one-size-fits-all. So I may or may not be the right fit for you. And that's okay. Because when we first connect, we're kind of interviewing each other. And I want to make sure that you get the best person, the best photographer, the best storyteller for you, which, like I said, may or may not be me. And if it's not me, I have people that I can refer you to. And it's not that there's anything, quote unquote, wrong with either one of us. It's just that we just may not be a fit. And you want somebody that can fall in love with who you are and what you stand for and all those kinds of things. And I know for me, that's essential because if I can't fall in love with you, then I can't get other people to fall in love with you. And so I think that's what you have to look for. You have to, when you research somebody's website, first of all, if you're looking for a brand photographer, it's got to be more than headshots. You need to see storytelling. And aside from that, I want you to also look at their style of photography because what you see is what you're going to get. And if you like it, then pursue, contacting them and having these conversations. By the time I actually get somebody in front of my camera, we've had 3 or 4 conversations and we know each other pretty well at that point. And then we can also develop our game plan. We know what's going to happen. We know who needs to bring what, all those kinds of things.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, people out there, did you hear that? It's more than headshots. Your personal brand is more than headshots. And storytelling and people getting to know you is really important in creating that connection, that rapport, and really being able to build a relationship that you can work well together. So let's talk a little bit. You have somebody come in. What are some of your goals when you begin that creative process with someone? Can you describe those a little bit?
I want to bring out the unique things about you, but also the best things about you. I think everybody deserves to be seen in a unique way for the best of who they are. Yeah. And so, we're building a relationship. This is a partnership. And so I need to get to know you. And people have said to me, well, how much do I really need to share? I don't really want to be the face of my brand, all those kinds of things. And as far as what to share, all I can say is, especially when it comes to social media, you don't have to tell everybody all your business. I want you to look at it like a rental house or rental property where you want people to come in, you want them to be comfortable, you want them to sleep in the comfortable bed and swim in the pool, but there's always an owner's closet. There's always something that's locked in there that they can't have access to. And I want you to treat your branding and your message and all the pieces of you the same way. Now, the size of that owner's closet and what goes in it is entirely up to you, but always make sure that you have one.
Boy, sage advice. Absolutely outstanding. There seems to be a trend to overshare.
Yeah. And
in a lot of cases, less is more. So keep those things in that owner's closet, people. That's wonderful. Let's talk about, some of the things that you've done. Maybe describe for us one of your most memorable shoots, memorable people, that you've worked with, and what made that person or that experience memorable. Just kind of walk us through some of that.
All of them are to me.
That's great. And I believe that. 100%.
I would say, obviously one of my most memorable things was how I got into photography in the first place. I was a photography major, but my first job was with WWE. Well, actually WWF at the time. And I never watched wrestling. I went down to apply for a job in photo editing and I wound up on a tour bus.
Wow.
And the first day, I was told, okay, we'll meet the bus. And it was nighttime. And so I get on the bus in the dark. It's me and I think 6 guys who I've never met. And I'm told, here's your bunk. And I got to the arena the next day. I walked backstage and I looked around and I went, what have I done? But I worked there for 3 years. It was an amazing experience and a lot of good memories.
Wow, that is so cool. So cool. And I have to ask a follow-up. Your favorite wrestler? Did you have one?
It's really hard. I would say from a lot of standpoints, I love Taker. He is sweet baby Taker. He looks like this big imposing thing. That's not the side of him that I remember. He is just a class act. And also to my dear friend, Joe Laurinaitis, who passed away about a year ago, loved him. Absolutely loved him.
That's outstanding. Just great. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Let's talk a little bit more, if we can. You recently had an amazing experience with women in rock and roll. Can you talk to us a little bit about that and some of your takeaways from that experience?
Yeah. When I was in college, I wanted to work 2 places. I wanted to work for Rolling Stone and I wanted to work for Vanity Fair.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, so when I had the opportunity to go out and photograph these women out in LA, it was a rock and roll fantasy camp. And it was the first ever women's only. A gentleman by the name of David Fishoff runs these camps. And Britt Lightning, who is the music director, is just fabulous. She's been on the show as well. But yes, it was wonderful and amazing to meet and photograph Melissa Etheridge and Nancy Wilson and Kathy Valentine. However, to me, the standouts at that camp were the women that participated. And the camp counselors, oh my goodness, the Janet Robbins and the Tasha Jones and the Samantha Maloney's of the world. These are just outstanding women. Nikki Stevens. I mean, the list goes on. And I'm just so thankful for meeting all of them, because here's the thing. I do not play music. I can't sing, can't play a note, but I was so inspired by all of these women. Even the women that were campers, Peyton Velligan and Sierra Levesque and Dawn Kranz, and on and on and on. They were so inspiring by their passion and their creativity, and you walk away transformed. And I think that's the thing. When we work in a certain industry, like I work in photography, we often look to other people in our industry for inspiration, things like that. Look outside your industry, because other people are doing such amazing things. And when they have that kind of passion, it rubs off.
That's fantastic. Were there any particular key learnings or things that you took away from that, not only from the inspiration, but just in being there and being a part of it?
Seeing these women all come together from all over the country and even out of the country, and the way they supported one another and cheered for one another and encouraged one another, that honestly doesn't always happen. So to watch it happen, and when it does happen, there is such strength in that.
Oh, absolutely. Supporting each other and seeing that. That's wonderful. Absolutely love it. Now, let's talk. You've reached 100 podcasts. Walk us through, as a photographer, why did you start a podcast?
I started it honestly for two reasons. I wanted to give people value aside from, because I stay in my lane when it comes to branding. Yeah. I do the visuals, I tell the story in images, but I stay in my lane. But there are so many other aspects to it that I wanted people to have information and inspiration and tips and tools and tricks and all those kinds of things from experts in their fields. And so that was one of the main reasons. And then the other reason was,
gotta say it though, love that.
And then the other reason, honestly, was to be able to have conversations with amazing people.
Oh, that's so cool. I congratulate you and celebrate you. That is just one of the coolest things that I can think of. That's just awesome. So, hey, let's talk about you a little bit. Okay. So, you live your life in a way that leaves people better than when you found them. And how did that kindness develop within you? How did that come forward? And, you use that in your photography, but you inspire people. So, how did that develop?
Well, first of all, that's very kind. But I think, for one thing, there are enough things that beat us up in the world.
Yeah.
I don't want to be one of them. And my husband laughs at me because he said, we walk into rooms differently. He said, when you walk into a room, he said, you just walk in. He said, and you see the best in everybody. And I said, well, that's by design. That's my job. Yeah. And I said, besides, I never have to worry about the dangers because you're always in the room and I know I'm good.
You're okay. Yeah.
But I think it's just, like I said, I think the world beats us up enough. Yeah. And I think that there needs to be people in it that help you see all the things that you don't see about yourself.
And that makes a difference. I mean, a real difference. And sometimes that's just on one-on-one, like in your photography sessions. But I had a chance to talk with you a little bit. And I know one of your favorite places, and I want you to describe that. Why is Montauk one of your favorite places?
Anything that has to do with the ocean and the water. And I love fishing villages, and there's such character. There's a little place that used to be in Montauk. I don't know if it still exists, but it was called Liar's Saloon. And
great name.
Yeah, because name. the little tagline for it was, where the story doesn't have to be true, it just has to be good. And
beautiful.
It's a little hole in the wall. And I sat in there with my cousin's wife one day and talking to these, seasoned fishermen, and it was just the best experience. But I love places with character, and Montauk to me has a lot of character.
Well, I get that from you. You like depth, you like texture, story. But I got to ask you, why in the world is Jaws your favorite movie? Scared the heck out of me.
Well, funny thing about Montauk and Jaws.
Yeah.
Captain Frank Mundus, who has a fishing vessel out in Montauk, or at least he used to, was called the Cricket, or the Cricket 2. And he is who Captain Quint from Jaws was fashioned after.
Wow.
And of course, way back when, I was told that because he caught the largest great white ever by rod and reel. So the head of this fish was hanging in one of the bars out there. So of course I had to go see it. And at first you walk in and you don't know where it is. And you turn around and you're standing under the mouth of this thing. And it's just an amazing experience. But Jaws to me is one of those movies where if it's on, I can't go past it.
I'm with you.
Because there's a lot of depth to that movie. Yeah. On the surface, it's about the shark that comes into this town and, terrorizes everybody. Yeah, we get all that. But the shot of when they are leaving Amity Harbor in the boat to go out, and it's through the jaws of the shark, that shot's fabulous. The history that when they tell the story of I can't remember the name of it, even though I've seen the movie a million times, the Indianapolis. When they tell the story of the Indianapolis, and anything that I could live in Amity. Let's just say that.
That's just call it.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. No, what wonderful insight and reasons for that. Do you have a favorite line from that movie? Because I do. Do you have a favorite line?
No, I know the one that most people know is, "We're going to need a bigger boat."
That's my favorite. So that's
but even at the end of that movie, there's not just at the end, throughout it, there's also hope that runs through that movie. Yeah. And so there's a lot more to it than just the shark.
Oh, love your insight. I love your insight and the depth behind that. Hey, you know what? I've got an off-the-wall question. If you were a baseball player, most baseball players have walk-up songs that they choose when they come up to bat.
We can tell that your history is in baseball.
I've played a little ball myself and coach, and still play a little bit softball. But what would be your walk-up song? Your favorite song that would introduce you? And while you're thinking about that, I can tell you that I would probably try to throw something out like Thunderstruck by AC/DC or something like that, But do you have a favorite song that would strike you?
It's so funny because I don't know how much you know about personality types and things like that. It's something that I've been learning recently, and I am an INFJ. And one of the things that I have learned along the way is you can't really ask an INFJ what their favorite is, because favorites it's a very unique word for us. So I don't know if I have a favorite. I will say that a lot of songs that I gravitate toward have to do once again with water and I think
maybe
but even just the sound of the ocean, I could be in there somewhere, because the way I look at the ocean is it's something that is calm and inviting. it is also something that can be a force that will level something. It is also something that it can quietly cut through stone and form canyons. And when you stick your toes in it, the depth of it, you have no idea what the depth of it really is. You have no idea what it really contains. And it also, like Bruce Lee brought out once, it takes the shape of whatever it is. So, and it's also something that you really don't want to turn your back on. So in Bruce Lee's words, be like water, my friend, be like water.
That is awesome. Love that. Love that. Hey, can you tell us a fun fact about you? What's something that people really wouldn't know?
I'm kind of addicted to the car auctions on television. That's
really?
That's another thing I can't really turn past. I have to watch a little bit of it.
Love it. Okay. That's awesome. Hey, we got 4 questions coming up for you.
Okay.
All right. So what is the best piece of advice you were ever given? What would you say?
This woman that I was in a mastermind group with once said that, I want to say it was her mother or grandmother gave her this, and it always stuck with me, and it was, ask, you already have no.
Interesting. Good. All right. Share one thing with us from your bucket list. What do you got on there?
My bucket list usually consists of people I want to photograph.
Oh, cool.
And usually it means it's just, I would really love to spend some time with these people. I would really love to get to know these people. Some people that are on my bucket list: Angie Harmon.
Oh, wow.
Reba, Dolly, Gladys Knight, Sophia Bush. Yeah, these are some of the people that I would love to photograph.
That's awesome. No, well, hopefully they'll watch this and connect with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, so when the toy companies finally get around to making an action figure of you, what 2 accessories will it come with?
Definitely a camera.
No surprise there. That's awesome. Yeah.
A killer pair of shoes, because I have I may or may not have a little shoe obsession.
Well, we don't have to define that right now, but okay.
But you know what? I want a third one. I want like a Barbie car. I want a car, especially with the auto auction thing in the mix. And I'd say probably something like late 50s Jag XK 140 burgundy.
Convertible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. For a drive by the ocean.
Yeah, absolutely. With my camera and my heels.
Perfect combo. All right. Let's help people find you so you can make a difference in their lives. So how would they go about connecting with you?
The best place to find me is my website, marlanasemenza.com. On there, you have links to everything. My Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. You can see all that 100 episodes of this podcast on there. Nice. And that's the best spot. Okay.
People, did you hear that? So connect with Marlana. But one thing, what's next for you?
I just want to make art. I want to make a difference in people's lives. I want to help people reach their goals and their dreams and be seen the way they want to be seen.
Well, that in and of itself is an incredibly worthy mission and vision. Love it. You are awesome.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to cover?
No, I just want everybody to know I will be taking a little break from the show. So this will give you a chance to go back and watch all the episodes that you missed. And I suggest you start with John's. He was episode number 1.
Well, thanks for that. Appreciate you. Love talking with you. As always, you make a difference. And we need more people making a difference out there. So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so very much. Thank you for joining us. Once again, I'm Marlana Semenza, photographer and visual strategist. Please comment, like, or share this episode, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. For more information on how I can help you create your iconic image, visit marlanasemenza.com.